All right, so happy to thrilled for the chance to to be in the tournament, and I think obviously this time of year is it's an awesome time of year. You play well, coach well. No matter kind of what you did in the regular season, if you play well, you coach well, you advance this time of year. It changes your life. So it's exciting time of year for the players, for the coaches, and so that's what I got.
Can you describe the scene when the guys saw the brackets and
It
saw
never,
UConn?
It never gets old. I mean, when I left the house, I was talking to my wife, and we used to, I was coaching high school. She'd go print the brackets, and we would pick the brackets. When I was coaching high school with the kids and my wife never won. She never won one time with the brackets. So it never gets old, that feeling when you hear your name called, because you got to earn your way into the tournament, and so we're excited to be in it.
Coach, how does it feel to start fresh a new season?
I think that's what this thing is. I mean, I've had some great regular seasons, and I think it's just what all coaches and players and teams experience. You can have, incredible regular season in this sport, and and it's cruel in a way if you don't play well in March. You're judged basically just on this tournament and whether you can succeed in it or not. So, you're excited to be in it. We've been successful in it. This is I think we have a team that's battled the whole year. I'm excited to see how we'll play on Friday because of from early in November. We've had the battle just to put ourselves in position to do this, whether it's injury or the disastrous trip to Maui. We've had to battle our way to have an opportunity.
Early thoughts on Oklahoma? About Oklahoma. Fears is obviously had a great freshman year.
Yeah, I mean, Porter's a great tournament coach. He's proved that in his career. Winning the Bahamas, is huge. They've had an incredible non-conference, really. A lot of huge wins, and then the league is just a total monster. I mean, watching their conference tournament quarterfinals and on, it's like some serious basketball being played there. So they come from a great league. UConn, Oklahoma is a fun matchup. Great, one of the best freshmen in the country. Obviously, Moore is an excellent wing.
Dan, you brought a prop. What you got in that folder for us?
Not just the information on Oklahoma,
Well, I see that it says Oklahoma.
Yes. It'll be a lot more volume by tomorrow. Right now, we'll start as soon as I get away from you. We'll start watching.
Coach, 5 Big East teams in the tournament this year, 3 last year. Just your reaction to that?
Yeah, I was. It's just great to see Xavier. If you've watched Xavier play, they've been playing at a high level for a long time since getting Fremantle back and healthy. They've clearly been a tournament team. So they're there. And it was just good to see us get the number we deserve this year.
Is it tough for you to say confidently you know what to expect from your team?
No. I don't know how much the past or how we've played in terms of being inconsistent. This time of year, it's you have a chance. The magical time of year to just, if you play your best basketball. When we've played our best basketball, we've looked like a really good team. We're a couple of late game. Playing and coaching issues away from being, a 25-win team or a 26-win team going into this tournament with a much different seeding. So, we know our floor this year at times has been disappointing, but I do think there's a ceiling for us that if, we get Solo and we get Alex and we get Liam all playing well in the same game and the 2 centers playing well in the same game, and get consistent guard play and bench production, you can't. If we play defense, 75% field goal percentage defense in the first half, of any NCAA tournament game, it's going to be ugly. So, we've got to be better in areas that we haven't been good this year.
What would you like to shore up in the next 5 days before first game?
Defense has killed us the most, by far this year. I think, rebounding. Creighton did a good job keeping us off the glass. But the defense has cost us. Has cost us dearly the whole year.
Where's Alex going into this game? I mean, you feel like he's kind of back where he needs to be?
Yeah, Alex feels good. I think he feels good. I think it'll be nice. I think our guys are excited to get out of the Big East. Just the physicality and tough it is for us to play the way that we want to play too on offense. And I think Liam. I think Alex. I think Solo. I think I could say the same thing about teams from other conferences too. They're excited to get out of their league with people that know them so well, and in particular the Big East, just with how mauling the games are.
What do you tell guys like Liam and Terrace about sort of what to expect for March Madness for playing their first time, and does the three-peat term come back out now?
Yeah, I don't think that there's a roadmap that you give to any of your players. I think a lot of times it's like if you have a well-connected team, your players in the locker room are talking about it on the lead up, and helping to prepare each other that way. It's plus these guys, just get yourself to the right mental space where it's like you're able to execute, understand, and it's like you could you can make or break. Your players and coaches get made this time of year, so it's hard to say to a player like it's not a big deal. These games are big time games, and every round you advance in, everything gets bigger and better, and but we've got a formidable first round opponent from an unbelievable league.
Were you and the guys able to get over Friday night fairly? I mean, what's the last thing he's been?
Oh man, what day today? Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made in 22, where I let it linger too long. So, we didn't do that. It got its. We stayed in the hotel the next day. We went through the video. It was a long session. You shouldn't have sessions that long this time of year. The sessions should be shorter. But we're still making, just tons of mistakes, and obviously a lot of them are centered on the defensive end. But there's things offensively from creating shots for each other. I think playing offense for each other. It's something we could do a better job of. I don't think we shared the ball very well. I think, and not because we have selfish players. I think we have guys that wanted to do it for UConn and get us to a championship game. So I think we could, we could play a lot better. We make less mistakes. The session was brutal. It was good though to get back and have the rest of Saturday. I think we got back midday yesterday. We watched it in the morning. When we got off the bus, I think everyone was able to get 24 hours away from each other. We got in here, we got some shots, and now we're beyond it. and we're ready to go.
Are they making the same mistakes they made 2 months ago?
Yeah, we all are. I mean, a lot of it is it's defensive, and it's physicality at the point of attack on defense. But they're mostly just defensive things. I mean, when you have Tristan Newton in the backcourt with Cam Spencer, or Andre Jackson as a junior player with Joey California, you have all these veteran Naheem Aline pieces. Yeah, there's a reason why we were such a great defensive team, and that's without mentioning Kling Kong. So we've lost a lot of great defensive players and veterans the last couple of years. I think some of it's just we got some young guys. I mean, most of our rotation it's young wings, it's young perimeter people. Liam, the 3 sophomores.
How much of an edge does it give you that your staff has been through this the last 2 years, just with the scouts and everything going into this tournament?
Yeah, but it's there's we understand the process. It helps us that we play pressure games all the time. Every game that we play, every game that we've been playing for the last couple of years has been heavy games. So now these NCAA tournament games are heavy games for both teams. I think we're we're comfortable in those spots.
Does Liam have the personality to kind of flush the struggles of the late season and just
He does and he doesn't. He doesn't in a sense that he cares so much. He cares so much about UConn. He cares so much about his performance. He cares so much about not letting people down, the coaches, the team, his family. I mean, everyone that's invested in him. I mean, he's wired the absolute right and wrong way for somebody that way. But then he also has a mental toughness and a swagger about him too. So, yeah, I mean, the guy, in big spots this year when we've needed him, Baylor at home, no Alex, Gonzaga at the Garden, at Creighton, the guy played rare games. So,
Dan, you mentioned all the reasons, the defense maybe took a hit, but is it disappointing at this point of the year to still be talking about that? Because that's something that a lot of times comes from here.
yeah, it does. I mean, defense, but I think sometimes it's yeah. I mean, I think the initial reaction is, is like it is. It's like a lack of toughness thing. I think at times, maybe some of that, but it's it's also it's technique and it's awareness. It's being able to absorb scouting. It's understanding 5 different ball screen coverages, and there's a lot of terminology. There's a lot of things that you have to know instinctually. That it just takes some time. And yeah, we've had elite defensive teams because we've had also some older players. St. John's is as good a defense as there is in the country. That's an old and physical team. Houston is one of the best teams in the country. They're old and physical teams.
When you have a year like you did this year, when everything's a grind, everything's difficult, do you worry about the team going in, like being just exhausted and drained, or is that a good thing maybe going in that they've been through the wars so much this year, every single game pretty much?
I mean, you're worrying a lot more during the year because if you don't win, you lose the heartbreaker to Villanova, and now you're at a surging Georgetown team after they got off to a great start in the league and then almost won at Marquette. You're probably more worried about losing that second Georgetown game on the road and then things snowballing on you as the external noise gets even louder and louder and everything that you deal with here at UConn, or when you're very successful. So I think this time of year you're just happy to be, just excited to be in the tournament and know that teams with high seeds have been able to advance in this tournament in the past, and that we could change the narrative and the storyline for this season and this team by playing great this time of year.
What has and will be your schedule this week? Have you given the guys a little time to recharge?
They did. I mean, we I'm not good with too much idle time, so I dragged everyone in here to shoot a little bit today. But it was light, and it was more to just get the group together and get back on the court before we watch the show. So it was light. And to play on Friday, obviously it gives you more time to prepare for both teams.
How heavy is it to wear you said it earlier in the season, it's really heavy to wear the UConn uniform, but how about to carry 2-time defending national champs into March Madness? And do you want to lessen that load, or do you want them to feel it?
Yeah, I don't. That's something that they'll hear, or it's something that I think, quite honestly, like earlier in the year, might have been something that was talked about around here more. But we haven't, with the way that we played, I think to this point, it's not something that we're even talking about. It's like right now, like let's just get our best performance together and lock in on Oklahoma. We have as good a chance as a lot of teams to advance in this tournament, and to have a great March. But we haven't had a good enough year to be thinking along those terms.
I mean, are they carrying the responsibility? Like, how do you feel them carrying the responsibility?
Oh man, this year's been heavy for the whole group. I mean, look at from how it started to just the amount of attention that the season has gotten across the board for myself through the team. I think I think it's a relief for all of us that we're just at the NCAA tournament now. We're in the tournament with all these other great teams, and now it's just like it's kind of a relief to be at this point, to be honest with you. It's been a heavy year.
So you don't tell Alex to break out his rings again and just feel some emotions
I mean,
from
if he
that?
wants to do that, he can do that. I'm probably going to do something like that, because it's going to make me feel better. People will hear this, they'll react, they'll hate me more, or they'll like me more. But yeah, I mean, if you have things at your disposal, where you know you've come through in the past in championship moments, and you're a coach or you're a player, and if that helps you feel better at this time of year, yeah, go get your rings.
Is that the same hat you wore last year?
Come on, man, you know.
I don't.
You know what I did though? I changed. I did not go through. I knew this was the hat. I didn't want to torture myself and try to remember what I wore. But I guarantee you, I did not wear this. But the hat, yes, I made sure I grabbed the hat. The last 2 years.
Last 2, okay. I don't pay attention to all those.
Yeah, right
a lot of
before.
the-
No, if you go back pre-Iona press conference, this I'm
Okay.
pretty sure this was the hat. And now I'm going to go to the red and blue one for the remainder.
Do you keep track of that, or someone else keep track of that?
Matt Johnson texts every night before he goes to sleep.
Do you guys, did you recruit the kid Goodine at all when he was out of New Bedford? Or?
Yeah, is he Books class maybe? Might have been Books.
Yeah, he might.
Might have been Books class. Yeah, no, he's a talented player, and you remember him. And, you know, Kobe. Yeah, I mean, you know, Glenn Taylor was at St. John's. You know, so Fears obviously more. You know, really score.
Excellent.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Gals, thank you.